All right, for today's video, finally finishing off our look here at the Transformers Legacy United versus 4-pack. Already took a look at Squeezeplay and Tarn and Tarantulas, so for today's video, we're just going to be focusing on our lone Autobot here, the Transformers Prime Universe Cliffjumper. And yeah, pretty cool little figure here. Obviously, we'll just take off the rest of them there. It's kind of unfair that the one lone Autobot versus the three of them, but maybe that's the homage because if you watch Transformers Prime, he didn't last for long, so he's used to being up against many more. He's being used to being outnumbered. But yeah, we'll just take off the rest of these guys here and take a look at just Cliffjumper himself here. And yeah, this is a clever retool of the Transformers Legacy United chase figure from the Rescue Bots universe. And yeah, some people had speculated that this might be what this mold would become, and it works pretty well, honestly. I think like it definitely gets the point across. But yeah, nice alt mode here. There's a couple resculpted sections from Chase there. He doesn't have the light bar on the top, so then this little panel up here, I guess, is technically a resculpt. And then they also resculpted these little bits here to reshape the grill a little bit and then give him his iconic like bull horns there, the little hood ornament. And yeah, looks pretty good. I will say that, the different shades of the red plastic here look a little bit different, like from here to here, which is, not great, but it's fine. It more or less gets the point across. But yeah, good looking car mode overall. Definitely has the same vibe as the Prime Cliffjumper. Rolls decently well. Obviously comes with all the same weapons that Chase did. And so yeah, you can do the little claw weapon and everything like that. Unfortunately, in terms of storage, you are supposed to just take the little claw weapon and just kind of awkwardly peg it onto the top here. And then for the little, what was Chase's headlight weapons, which are kind of just, all cast in this dark gray translucent plastic, so they don't really look like headlights anymore. Just peg them onto the side there. I think that looks super stupid. I did find with Chase that you could take these, you can't really do anything with the claw, but you can take these weapons, and if you fold his heels out, you can kind of wedge them underneath here and just get them to kind of stick into place if you want storage for, some of the weapons there, and that works well enough for me. It's kind of tricky to get them actually in place, but once you get them, they actually do stay decently well. So yeah, that works for me, but yeah, nothing really to do with the claw weapon. And unfortunately, you do kind of need this section of the claw weapon to give him his handgun that he has in robot mode, but whatever. It's not an intended feature. Again, just one of those things where it's I just wish that they had, found some way to do that where because they've got some real estate down here. I'm pretty sure this could have folded up in such a way that it would store there, but it wasn't really a design priority, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how the weapons are supposed to work in this mode. In terms of comparisons in this mode, just for the standard one, here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe, so you can see what the two of them look like together. I feel like he looks maybe a little bit small compared to Sideswipe, but it largely works. Here he is with, of course, Legacy United Chase, so you can see how the two of them look together. Yeah, like I said, just the no light bar and then the slightly different grill there on the front, but otherwise they're the same mold aside from the head in robot mode, but I feel like it works equally well for both of them. And then here he is with the only other version of Prime Cliffjumper that I have, with the GDO version, which in alt mode is basically just the first edition version, but in robot mode has the G1 head. But yeah, I feel like the two of them look pretty good together, just so you can see what he looks like with the original version of this alt mode. But yeah, to get onto transformation, obviously it's exactly the same as Chase. You want to start by taking these little side exhaust pipes here and just folding them up like that. Then we can take the arms here, untab them from the side, and then kind of bring them down on this double hinge and rotate them around, just like that. Then we can take this entire section and it will flip up like that. Then take the chest section. We want to fold up this panel, fold it down like that, and then just fold that in to reveal the head there. And then the very neat leg transformation of you untab them like that, flip up the headlights, flip out the heel, take this whole section with the kind of I guess, fake grill sort of, and then fold it around like that, then collapse the leg up like this, and then take this panel and rotate it around the leg, and then rotate the leg forward. Still a very cool leg transformation. I really like how that works out there, and it still works. He just kind of ends up with little horns on the inside of his ankles there, which, you know, I was never totally sure in Transformers Prime if the implication was supposed to be that the hood ornament actually became part of his head, or if that was just like, you know, a coincidence or whatever. But obviously that doesn't really happen, and I wouldn't really expect them to do that, but still looks pretty good. And there we have Prime Cliffjumper in his robot mode. And yeah, no, this is a really nice looking mold for him there. The only like major difference I would say between him and like the original Prime design is now the headlights are down here on his shins rather than being on his waist, but otherwise it pretty much puts all the things in the same places, so it works out pretty well in terms of articulation. Also, we'll look at the new head sculpt here. He does have a nose like all of the like legacy versions of the Prime designs do, which looks a little weird, but you know, it still largely works. And then the head sculpt also does kind of have like a neck sculpted with it too, just because the Prime designs had kind of more pronounced necks. But yeah, ball joint at the head, so it can rotate around like that, can wiggle around a little bit. He does have the shoulders where they hinge out to the side in the body and then rotate on the arms themselves. So it's like it can be kind of a pain to get them in certain positions, but it's kind of workable. Also, I find that these don't really lock into place as well as they did on Chase, unfortunately. So these kind of always want to like bend down, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, he's got a bicep swivel. I like that they painted in that section there, so it actually like continues the bicep up, which is nice. And then he gives 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, has of course, the inexplicable little wrist joint where he can fold his hands in like that for no good reason. He's got a waist cut, hips can go forward and back before they run into the butt plate, out to the side, thigh swivel, about 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then the ankles can tilt only about that far and then tilt a lot in the other direction for whatever that's worth. And then I guess you can kind of adjust the heel here too if you want to like fake a forward-facing ankle tilt. But yeah, you know, pretty decent articulation. Really, it's just like the shoulders are not, they don't work amazingly, but it's fine. And then obviously we can give him his weapons here. There's a few different options. You could do the same thing that you did for Chase, where you kind of slot this onto the hand like a claw weapon, and then, you know, put these on the side of the arms. That's one option. Another option that they show off is doing that, but taking the little claws and just putting them on the side here. So he's got the one blaster, and then he's got little claws on his forearms. But really what you're supposed to do with him is it doesn't really matter what you do with the claws and with one of these weapons. It doesn't really matter which one either, but you can take these and put it on the inside of that. So it's kind of giving him his like little, you know, triple barrel, like transform out of his hand blaster. It does kind of stick out way like that, but I guess you could take the other one and put it on the other side. So it's at least a little bit more, I don't know, now it's a quadruple barrel blaster, but at least it's a little bit more symmetrical. And, you know, it's a good look. It's a nice attempt, but I mean, personally, I think it looks better with just the two on there. Like if he doesn't have the triple barrel, at least it's like a little bit closer into his arm. But again, none of this stuff really stores all that well in alt mode. If you want to store it in robot mode, he does have the peg on the back there. So you can actually, you know, I was going to say you could peg it onto the back, but this doesn't really fit on there. And this is kind of like the hub for which everything else attaches. I'm sure there's some way you can do it. Like, let's see, you get it like that. Then you could do that. There we go. That all stores on his back. I think it looks dumb, but whatever, you can do it. But yeah, that's one way that these can all store. But yeah, in terms of comparisons in this mode, here he is again with Sideswipe. Just so you can see, pretty much an average size deluxe there. Here he is again with Chase, so you can see what the two of them look like together. Like I said, no real new sculpting aside from the head sculpt, the lack of the light bar, and then, you know, I guess in this mode, just happenstantially, he's got the little horns on his inside of his shins there, but otherwise they're pretty much exactly the same. And then here he is again with GDO Cliffjumper, just so you can see what he looks like with him. I feel like the two of them look pretty fun together because he's like, I don't know, kind of G1-ified design of the Prime version, and this kind of like G1-ified design of the Prime version in a different way because he's like the more generations proportions. I don't know. I just think the two of them look kind of cool together. And then, of course, last but not least, here he is again with his box mates with the full set here, the three Decepticons that are gonna absolutely murder him. But yeah, overall, I'd say this is a pretty fun box set. I do like Cliffjumper. He was the one that I was kind of the least excited about, just because I don't know. I don't really need a, like, I like Prime Cliffjumper, but I don't need a new version of him. I'm happy just having a G1 Cliffjumper and calling it a day in terms of my definitive version of that character. Whereas these two were kind of nice homages, again, that I didn't really need. And Squeezeplay is really the one that made me buy the set. But yeah, no, it's a pretty good set overall, and it was nice getting it on a bit of a discount as well, because Target is pretty good about having discounts if you're, able to find them. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all there is to him, and that's pretty much all there is to all of them. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Transformers Legacy United Versus Pack Prime Universe Cliffjumper.